Moms and dads, just so you know, we're at the 2-minute mark. So as soon as that 2 minutes is up, you'll see the start. So you want to get in your seats and near the screen where you can see. Welcome everybody to the 58th Annual New York State Dairy Princess Pageant. We welcome all of you at home. We welcome all of the family and members that are here. Enjoy, you people at home, in your comfort of your home. We're glad you can join us. I'm going to introduce our MC for the evening. Dale Sweetland has joined us. He's going to be our MC. Dale is a strong supporter of the dairy industry in his community, and his daughter was a dairy princess many years ago, and he has always been a big supporter of the Dairy Princess program. So here we go with Dale Sweetland.
Thank you, Dawn. Dawn failed to mention, Dawn, don't run away. Dawn failed to mention her name, Dawn Hoopert. And the first thing that I want to do is tell everyone that Dawn Hoopert has been the driving force behind the Dairy Princess program for 22 years. And this is Dawn's last and final state coronation. She will be retiring. I don't know how you get to retire when you're only 38 years old, but congratulations, Dawn. You've, on behalf of all the Dairy Princesses, past and present, thank you very much for your dedicated service. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We're here again. Well, some of us are, a few of us, and then there's those of you that are at home. What a year this has been. Unbelievable. I'm old, you know. I just barely figured out how to use my iPhone, and then they told me I needed how to figure out Zoom. The last time I Zoomed was in my father's pickup truck when he didn't know that I had it. So it's all Greek to me. Then they told me I needed to figure out how to get on the computer and get a vaccine shot. Well, it's a good thing I have kids, because that was the thing that I needed to do. I'm going to introduce to you right now the County Dairy Princesses. And last week I ran into a former County Dairy Princess, and I said, "Hey, Courtney, Tuesday is the Dairy Princess pageant." And she looked at me and she said, "Who are you going to forget this year, Dale?" Because when Courtney was here, I forgot Courtney. And the disclaimer is that I will mispronounce names, I will plead guilty, and then I will plead age. Because the first thing to go is the hair, ladies, and the next thing is the mind. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the State Dairy Princess candidates for this year. First, from Shenango County, Shelby Benjamin.
Hello, my name is Shelby Benjamin. I'm the Shenango County Dairy Princess, and I reside in Norwich, New York with my parents, Barry and Sue Benjamin. My sponsor farm is Marshman Farms, located in Oxford, New York. I'm a current student at SUNY Morrisville, and I plan in the future to bring my two loves together, the sports industry and the dairy world.
Thank you, Shelby. Next up, from Erie County, Holly Nefergold.
Hello, I am Holly Nefergold, your Erie County Dairy Princess. I am the 16-year-old daughter of David and Emily Nefergold of Lawtons, New York, where we currently reside. I am an active member of 4-H and FFA, and I would like to attend Cornell University and study a career in agriculture. Thank you.
Thank you, Holly. Next, from Franklin County, Amy Goki.
Good evening. My name is Amy Goki. I go to school at Franklin Academy High School, where I'm a senior. In the fall, I plan to attend SUNY Cobblestone to pursue a degree in ag business.
Amy Goki from Franklin County. Next up, from Jefferson County, Elizabeth Hyman.
Good evening. My name is Elizabeth Hyman. I'm the current Jefferson County Dairy Princess. I live and work on my family's dairy farm, Highlight Farms, in Adams, New York. I'm currently a junior at Belleville Henderson Central School.
Thank you, Elizabeth. From Monroe County, Faith Avedissian. Did I get that anywhere near right?
Hello, my name is Faith Avedissian. I am currently serving as the Monroe County Dairy Princess. I'm the 19-year-old daughter of Brenda and Mark Avedissian and reside in Hilton, New York on my family's small dairy farm. I am currently a freshman at SUNY Morrisville studying ag business and plan to pursue a career in ag education.
Thank you, Faith. Next, from Montgomery County, Sari Keon.
Hi, I'm Sarah Keon. I'm 17. My parents are Matthew and Coletta Keon, along with my sister Jennifer. I am currently a senior at Bonda Fultonville High School, and in the fall, I hope to attend college to become a veterinary technician.
Thank you, Sarah. From Oneida County, Alyssa Buck.
Hello, I am Alyssa Buck, the 18-year-old daughter of Amy and Ronnie Buck. I am a senior at Westmoreland High School, and after school, I plan to go to Morrisville College to pursue a degree in animal science.
Thank you, Alyssa. Next, from Ontario County, Kara Walker.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kara Walker. I am the 17-year-old daughter of Chad. I attend Mid-Lakes High School in Phelps, New York. After high school, I plan to attend SUNY Morrisville to study dairy science and further my athletic career.
Thank you, Kara. From Orange County, Gabriella Miyoshi.
Hello, everyone. My name is Gabriella Miyoshi. I am the 18-year-old daughter of Kim Miyoshi and James Dellinger. I currently reside in Maybrook, New York with both of them. My sponsor farm is Spruce Gate Holsteins in Walden, New York. I am currently an active member in 4-H, the Holstein Association, Jersey Association, and Junior Farm Bureau. I am also currently a freshman at Mount St. Mary's College, where I am getting my bachelor's degree in childhood and special education. My future plans including getting my master's degree in agricultural education.
Thank you, Gabriella. From Oswego County, Taylor Manofsky.
Hi, I am Taylor Banofsky, the Oswego County Dairy Princess. I'm the 18-year-old daughter of Robert and Tammy Banofsky. I reside on my hobby farm in Fulton. I operate them.
Thank you, Taylor. From Wayne County, Kaylee Kuhn.
I am the 17-year-old daughter of Rob and Teresa Kuhn. I currently reside in Marion, New York, where I'm a senior at Marion Junior Senior High School. I am an active member in 4-H and the New York Junior Holstein Association. I hope to attend either Cornell University or SUNY Cobblestone in the fall to to pursue an education in animal science.
Thank you, Kaylee. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present the candidates for New York State Dairy Princess. Congratulations, ladies. At this time, I want to introduce our State Dairy Princesses. First, the 2020-2021 New York State Second Alternate Dairy Princess, Erin Armitage. Erin is the 18-year-old daughter of Kevin and Leanne Armitage. Erin enjoys working on her family's heifer farm and milking for Darfler's Dairy, who milk 150 Holsteins. She also enjoys showing her Brown Swiss and Guernsey show cattle. Erin is currently a freshman, double majoring in agribusiness and dairy science at SUNY Morrisville. She plans to transfer to Virginia Tech to complete her undergraduate and graduate degrees. Erin hopes to lobby in D.C. for a few years after college and eventually market for an agriculturally related company. Your 2020-2021 New York State Alternate Dairy Princess, Erin Armitage. The 2020-2021 New York State First Alternate Dairy Princess, Rachel Rowland. Rachel is the 21-year-old daughter of Timothy and Kimberly Rowland. Rachel is currently the assistant herdsman at Ranway Farms in Marion, New York. Ranway is a 100-cow dairy farm, and Rachel enjoys managing the vaccinations of the milking herd, dry cows, and calves. She shows her Holsteins milking Shorthorns and Guernseys at the local, state, and national levels. She has received Junior All-American nominations on 2 of her cattle and loves clipping, washing, and getting her cattle ready for the show ring. Rachel plans to continue advocating for dairy farmers by informing consumers about land stewardship, cow comfort, and how nutritious and beneficial milk is. As odd of a year as it was, Rachel says that it has been a true pleasure to serve on the New York State Dairy Princess Court. Your 2020-2021 New York State First Alternate Dairy Princess, Rachel Rowland. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our 2020-2021 New York State Dairy Princess, Natalie Vernon. Natalie is the 19-year-old daughter of Casey and Dawn Vernon. She grew up in the town of Marion, located in Wayne County. Natalie became involved in the dairy industry through 4-H and leasing a show heifer, and her passion only grew from there. She has not only enjoyed showing her animals, but also meeting new people from the industry along the way. Natalie is currently a junior at SUNY Geneseo, I almost said Oswego, Natalie. SUNY Geneseo, studying communications on the personal and professional studies track. After receiving her bachelor's degree, she plans to pursue her master's in agricultural communication, education, and leadership. Your 2020-2021 New York State Dairy Princess, Natalie Vernon. Congratulations, ladies, and thank you for all your efforts this year. Now I'm going to ask the State Dairy Princesses to come up, or maybe you won't come up. I don't know where you're doing this from, but State Dairy Princess Natalie Vernon, First Alternate Rachel Rowland, and Second Alternate Erin Armitage.
Even though we can't all be together in person this evening, we would still like you all to join us in a milk toast. Grab a glass of milk and raise it in honor of the dairy industry of New York State.
We raise our glasses to our hard-working dairy farmers who work day in and day out, 365 days a year, providing excellent cow comfort and care, all while being stewards of the land that will thrive for generations to come. It is because of the immense efforts of our dairy farmers that we have access to wholesome and nutritious products. With milk's 9 essential nutrients, there is nothing else like it. Today and every day, we celebrate you. To our New York State dairy industry, cheers. Cheers.
Thank you, ladies. With all the introductions out of the way, now comes the fun part of all of this. And there's two people in the room that have the most fun doing this, and those are the judges. And I would like to introduce them to you. Our judges have a difficult task this evening of naming the New York State Dairy Princess. Those individuals are Haley Grote from Lutz Feed Company, and Heidi Kowaleski, Wegmans Human Resource Specialist and Onondaga County Dairy Promotions Coordinator. Thank you, ladies. I wouldn't want to be sitting where you're sitting. It's a very difficult job. So now I just want to ask you folks, you girls, ladies, if you can tell me, what do you call a frog not wearing underwear? A frog. See, Dawn told you it was going to be bad. She warned you. She warned you. If April showers bring May flowers, what do May flowers bring? Pilgrims. Yep, she warned you. Ladies and gentlemen, for the past 2 days, these girls have taken part in some rather extensive testing to evaluate their ability to become the next New York State Dairy Princess. They have taken part in a product knowledge test and a written communications test. They also have given an adult speech as well as been interviewed by the two judges. This evening we have the opportunity to award those individuals who have excelled throughout the various testing. The first awards we would like to present are the 3 speech winners. Every year I do this, it says 3 speech winners, and I keep saying to myself, you gave 3 speeches? No, that's not true. There's 3 winners of the speeches. Each of these individuals will receive a $100 scholarship for their efforts. The 3 winners will present their adult speech for you this evening. They are in no specific order. First up, we have from Franklin County, Amy Goki.
Who doesn't love a good story? I especially love stories about heroes. Not only are they interesting and exciting, they often teach many lessons along the way. First, we need to understand what a hero is. A hero can be an ordinary person like me and you. They come in all shapes and sizes, and a fundamental aspect about a hero is they can create change. In nonfiction stories, heroes are often portrayed by people who serve as policemen, firefighters, or even healthcare workers. These heroes are common. But what if we portray a non-traditional hero, such as a dairy farmer? You might be asking yourself, how could a dairy farmer possibly be a hero? Let's meet George. George is a dairy farmer in northern New York where he farms his wife, Martha, and their 2 daughters. Every day, George wakes up and starts his morning by cleaning the barn while his employees milk the cows. After the barn is clean, George adds bedding to each stall, and his cows return to their pen from their milking parlor. Once in their pen, the cows can lay down, walk around, eat food, drink water at their leisure. After all the cows have been milked, it's feeding time for his lovely ladies. George begins by mixing a total mixed ration. This is commonly referred to as a TMR. Generally, TMR consists of grain, corn silage, haylage, vitamins, and minerals. It is more or less a tossed salad for cows. Working regularly with his nutritionist, George is able to create the perfect blend and balance of nutrients that is just right for his cows. George uses a piece of machinery called a mixer, which mixes all these ingredients together so each bite is consistent. After all the cows are fed, George heads to his cornfield to plant winter rye as a cover crop. Cover crops are planted in fields that have already been harvested and are used for a variety of reasons. Not only do they help to restore nutrients into the soil, but they prevent soil erosion, water runoff, and minimize weed growth. After George finishes the field work, he heads back to the farm to meet with a veterinarian. The vet routinely visits his George farm to ensure his cows are healthy. After meeting with the vet, George heads to the shop to do some work. Before long, he cleans up and heads to town to bring his family out to dinner at their favorite local restaurant. After meeting George, you may be thinking to yourself, that doesn't sound heroic. How is George or any dairy farmer a hero? If you were to ask his employees how George is a hero, they may say something along the lines of, George is a hero because he provides me with a job so I can support my family. The nutritionist may say, George is a hero because he provides his cows with a balanced and nutritious diet. The environmentalist could say, George is a hero because he makes conscious decisions to preserve and protect the environment. The veterinarian may say, George is a hero because he provides his cows with wonderful health. And lastly, his wife Martha could say, my husband is my hero because not only does he lead a busy life on the farm, but he also makes time for me and our family. And lastly, the restaurant owner could say, George is a hero because he spends his money locally in the community, but also supports small businesses. George may be a fictional character, but his workday is very similar to that of many dairy farmers. Dairy farmers are committed to producing high-quality milk that can also be used to make delicious dairy products that we all love. Earlier, I mentioned heroes can create change. And believe it or not, dairy farmers create change every day. They work to create a sustainable future for the next generation. They utilize the land to produce crops while also reducing carbon emissions. Farmers may be ordinary people, but they do extraordinary work. Without these heroes, our land and animals would not have a caretaker. Who doesn't love a good story? I especially love stories about heroes, especially untraditional ones, just like George. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. Next up from Shenango County, Shelby Benjamin.
Did you know the best post-workout beverage for you is wholesome chocolate milk? Hello, my name is Shelby Benjamin. I'm the 2020 Shenango County Dairy Princess, a recent graduate of SUNY Unianza, where I played Division III basketball. And I'm committed to being the dairy industry's voice for chocolate milk. To start out, I would like everyone to please close their eyes and listen to me. Imagine this, you're at the gym working out, your muscles are sore, you grab your towel and wipe the sweat off your face, and you start winding down. When you realize, oh shucks, I forgot my post-workout beverage. So you wander on down to the vending machines, where you see your usual water, sports drinks, sodas, and protein shakes. But the one thing you're looking for, wholesome chocolate milk, isn't there. Chocolate milk is the perfect balance of carbohydrates, electrolytes, proteins, and the 9 essential nutrients. You may open your eyes. Now I know some of you are thinking, chocolate milk after a workout? You're crazy. When the fact is, chocolate milk is the perfect post-workout beverage because of the carbohydrates that help replenish your bodies of the ones they've just used. The protein and calcium help rebuild muscles and maintain strong bones. And finally, the chocolate syrup has the perfect amount of sweet to give you an energy boost. Still don't believe me? Dr. John Ivey, a professor at the University of Texas in kinesiology and health education, performed a study on cyclists in 2013, where some cyclists drank chocolate milk, some had sports drinks, and some had nothing at all after their first workout. The athletes that drank the chocolate milk not only recovered better, but also performed faster in their second workouts than those who did not, and there are other studies that support these findings. As I stated, I was a Division III basketball player, where my fellow SUNY athletes and I often had the same problem of not being able to find chocolate milk on campus if we did not bring it ourselves. Many athletes, and especially my teammates, knew the benefits of drinking chocolate milks after games, workouts, and practices. In my experience, my coach and many other coaches on campus often bought chocolate milk prior to games so we'd have it afterwards to help us refuel and recover. As my basketball career began to come to an end, I wondered about what legacy am I leaving behind? I wanted to make chocolate milk more easily accessible for student athletes, so they had one less thing to worry about forgetting. So I reached out to my coaches, trainers, and athletic directors and talked to them about my plan of getting chocolate milk in our vending machines for our student athletes. Unfortunately, due to COVID-19, my athletic director and I were unable to meet again before graduating. As we were both adjusting to our new way of learning and living, this opportunity passed me by. I do believe if it were not for the pandemic, my athletic trainer and athletic director and I would have successfully filled the vending machines with chocolate milk to benefit our student athletes. As a SUNY Morrisville student, where I continue my education, I strive to implement my plan of getting chocolate milk in all 64 SUNY schools to benefit our student athletes. I urge my fellow athletes to talk to their coaches, trainers, and athletic directors about the benefits of chocolate milk, as it not only does our body good, it does the world good. Milk producers pour their heart and soul in the care and comfort of their cows, and their sustainable use of land ensures that future generations will have access to clean water, fresh air, and safe and healthy soil to grow a well-balanced diet. In conclusion, studies show the perfect post-workout beverage is wholesome chocolate milk because of the nutrients that help your body recover faster, and this is why it needs to be readily accessible to our student athletes. Local farmers work hard day in and day out to provide us with a wonderful dairy product while remaining diligent stewards of our natural resources. I sincerely thank you for your time today, and next time you hit the gym, don't forget to pack your post-workout beverage, wholesome chocolate milk. Thank you.
Thank you, Shelby. And last but not least, from Jefferson County, Elizabeth Hyman.
In grocery stores across America, there are dairy aisles filled with delicious and nutritious dairy products. Good evening. My name is Elizabeth Hyman, and I'm the Jefferson County Dairy Princess. Let's go to the farm to see where this milk is produced. In order for cows to produce high-quality milk, they are fed high-quality feed. At my family's dairy farm, Highlight Farms, our cows are fed something called TMR. TMR stands for Total Mixed Ration. Some main ingredients in TMR include corn silage and haylage. Some other ingredients that are in some farms' rations include things like citrus pulp, which is the byproduct of making things like orange juice and lemon juices. If any of you are wearing cotton shirts right now, the byproduct of making cotton fabric is cottonseed. Cottonseed can be fed to cows as well, and this is a great source of fiber for them. Did you know that dairy cows can eat up to 110 to 120 pounds of food every single day? Here you can see there are two pictures of the same field in different years. In the top picture, there is corn in the field. Corn needs a lot of nitrogen to grow. In the bottom picture, there is alfalfa. Alfalfa helps replenish the nitrogen that the corn needs to grow. The practice that's being used here is something called crop rotation. Farmers use sustainable growing practices to grow the food for their cows to ensure that the land will be prosperous for generations to come. Dairy cows can drink a bathtub full of water every single day. That's about 40 to 50 gallons. That is a lot of water. As I'm sure many of you know, the winters in New York are very cold and the summers can get pretty hot. So in order for farmers to help keep their cows comfortable, they have things like fans, the barns provide shade, and they have access to water all day long. Some farms even install sprinklers in the feed floor so the cows can get a cool mist while they're eating their food. In the winter, barns provide shelter from the snow, wind, and cold. The baby calves need a little extra help staying warm, so they wear jackets and have lots of warm bedding to lay in. Depending on the farm, they have different kinds of beds for the cows to lay in. At my family's dairy farm, we use sand beds for our cows. It's just like laying on the sandy beach for these cows. And other farms, they might use things like water beds or mattresses, and bed with things like sawdust or composted manure solids, or even newspaper. That's another great way that farmers use recycling. Dairy cows are milked 2 to 3 times a day, depending on the farm. And the machine's only on the cow for about 5 minutes each time. This means the girls only go to work for about 15 minutes a day. The rest of the day they get to spend laying in their bed, hanging out with their friends, or eating as much food and drinking as much water as they want. FARM is a program that stands for Farmers Assuring Responsible Management. 98% of the milk produced in the United States is certified by this program. This program ensures that farmers are committed to healthy cows and wholesome milk. Farmers are committed to taking great care of their land and cows to ensure that wholesome, delicious milk and other dairy products are available for everyone at home. Thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth. And congratulations to Amy, Shelby, and Elizabeth. Great job. Next, we have the awards for written communications. Here, the girls were presented with the task of writing a speech for a local co-op meeting. They then had to write a speech incorporating American dairy efforts along with the county events that they have held. Each of the award winners will receive a $100 scholarship. Please stand if you are announced so we can all see you. Elizabeth Hyman, Jefferson County. Gabby Miyoshi, Orange County. And Kaylee Kuhn, Wayne County. Congratulations, ladies. Great job. The last award to be given out tonight before announcing our 7 semifinalists is for the product knowledge test given earlier. Here, contestants were asked to answer various multiple choice, short answer, and essay questions. For achieving a high score, each winner will receive a $100 scholarship. Again, please stand if you are announced. Amy Goki, Franklin County. Gabby Miyoshi, Orange County. Taylor Manofsky, Oswego County. Excellent job. Congratulations, ladies. Now we'll get down to nuts and bolts, and now announce the 7 semifinalists. We're getting closer. In no particular order, they are from Shenango County, Shelby Benjamin. From Erie County, Holly Nefergold. From Franklin County, Amy Goki. From Jefferson County, Elizabeth Hyman. From Ontario County, Kara Walker. From Wayne County, Kaylee Kuhn. And finally, from Oswego County, Taylor Manofsky. Congratulations, our 7 semifinalists. These ladies will now leave the room except for Taylor. And we will have one girl at a time come in to respond to the spontaneous question. Okay, Taylor, I have the envelope. I haven't seen this question. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read this question twice, and then You can answer after I finish the second time. You ready?
Yes.
You have decided to provide a classroom with a virtual farm tour experience. What important messages do you want them to learn about dairy farming during the tour? I'll read it again. You have decided to provide a classroom with a virtual farm tour experience. What important messages do you want them to learn about the dairy farming during the tour?
I have provided this classroom with a virtual tour, making sure that they know the hard work farmers do to take care of their land, the animals, and, of course, the 9 essential nutrients provided in dairy products that farmers work so hard for to provide the public with nature's nearly perfect product.
Thank you. Taylor Manofsky, Oswego County. I'm assuming I'm going in the reverse order? Okay. Boy, I got one thing right. Next up is Kaylee Kuhn from Wayne County. Hi, Kaylee. They make it go to the parking lot?
No, we're like standing in the doors right between the parking lot.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm going to read this question twice, all right? And after I finish reading it the second time, you can give your response. You ready?
Yep.
You have decided to provide a classroom with a virtual farm tour experience. What important messages do you want them to learn about dairy farming during the tour? You have decided to provide a classroom with a virtual farm tour experience. What important messages do you want them to learn about dairy farming during the tour?
Some messages I would like to say to a virtual farm tour, if that I was going to give, I would tell them about how farmers are great stewards of the land and how they take great care of it, and how they take great care of their cows, and how milk has 9 essential nutrients that you need each and every single day. Thank you.
Thank you, Kaylee. Next up will be Kara Walker from Ontario County. Hi, Kara. Is it cold out there?
No, actually it's not.
Oh,
They got us in a pretty nice warm room.
that's good. Kara, I'm going to read this question twice. And when I finish the second time, you can give your response. You ready?
Yep.
You have decided to provide a classroom with a virtual farm tour experience. What important messages do you want them to learn about dairy farming during the tour? You have decided to provide a classroom with a virtual farm tour experience. What important messages do you want them to learn about dairy farming during the tour?
After deciding to do a virtual farm tour for a local classroom, I would like them to learn about the comfort that the farmers provide for their cows. I would also like them to learn about the care they give to their animals day in and day out, that no matter what's going on, they always care about their cows. And I also like to tell them about the 9 essential nutrients in milk and how nutritious it is.
Thank you, Kara. Next up from Jefferson County will be Elizabeth Hyman. Hi, Elizabeth.
Hi.
Are you nervous?
No.
That's good, because I'm terrified. Elizabeth, I'm going to read this question to you twice, and when I finish the second time, you can give your response.
Okay.
You have decided to provide a classroom with a virtual farm tour experience. What important messages do you want them to learn about dairy farming during the tour?
So first,
Whoa, let me read it
Go ahead,
again.
sorry.
See? Yeah. You have decided to provide a classroom with a virtual farm tour experience. What important messages do you want them to learn about dairy farming during the tour?
Thank you. So first, I would take them to see the milking parlor where our cows are milked. Then I would take them to the milk house. This is where the milk is stored in our bulk tanks. I would show them the big refrigerator that helps to cool the milk down, and then how it leaves from our farm on a truck, like a refrigerator on wheels. Next, I would show them the baby calves because kids, school-aged children tend to love the cute baby calves. I would show them how they wear jackets in the winter to help keep them warm. And then I would take them to see the milking cows. I would show them their food and what they eat. And then I would tell them how that food is grown for the cows. I would also show them where the cows lay and tell them it's just like laying on the sandy beach. And then finally, I would take them to see where the cows. Finally, I would take them to where the cows are watered to tell them how cows drink lots of water because milk is 87% water, along with the other 9 essential nutrients that milk includes. Thank you.
Thank you. Unless I'm mistaken, next up is Amy Goki from Franklin County. And it's very possible I could be mistaken, but I'm not. Hi, Amy.
Hello.
Amy, I'm going to read this question to you twice. When I finish the second time, you can give your response. You ready?
Yes.
You have decided to provide a classroom with a virtual farm tour experience. What important messages do you want them to learn about dairy farming during the tour? You have decided to provide a classroom with a virtual farm tour experience. What important messages do you want them to learn about dairy farming, during the tour?
I would like to share 3 important messages. I like to share the importance of animal care, how farmers take exceptional care of their animals. I like to share how farmers are stewards of their land, how they use cover crops to help ensure nutrients into the soil. And the third one I would like to touch on is nutrition and how milk and other dairy products are a great source of calcium and 9 essential nutrients for your body. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. Next up from Erie County, Holly Nefergold. Hi, Holly. Holly, I'm going to read this question twice to you, and after I finish the second time, you can give your response. You ready? Okay, here we go. You have decided to provide a classroom with a virtual farm tour experience. What important messages do you want them to learn about dairy farming during the tour? You have decided to provide a classroom with a virtual farm tour experience. What important messages do you want them to learn about dairy farming during the tour?
Children love to learn. They are little sponges. Children will go home and tell their parents what they learned at school today. Because the parents always ask, hey honey, what did you do at school today? And they always tell them. So if I were to provide them with a dairy video about an on-farm tour, I would want them to know that milk is healthy for them. It is good. They love it, especially chocolate milk. Milk has 9 essential nutrients, and I want them to know that is very important for them in their bodies. Children would like to know that cows are comfortable, and farmers take very good care for their cows. Farmers
Thank you, Holly. And last but not least, from Shenango County, Shelby Benjamin. Hi, Shelby.
Hi.
Shelby, I'm going to read this question twice. And then after I read it the second time, you can give your response. Okay, ready? You have decided to provide a classroom with a virtual farm tour experience. What important messages do you want them to learn about dairy farming during the tour? You have decided to provide a classroom with a virtual farm tour experience. What important messages do you want them to learn about dairy farming during the tour?
The question was, if I was given the opportunity to talk to a classroom about giving them a tour virtually, I would want to make sure that I talk to them about the 9 essential nutrients. And I would also want to talk to them about how farmers really make sure that the cows are cared and comforted for, while also remaining diligent stewards of our natural resources. So if I was given the opportunity to give a virtual tour to a classroom, that is what I would make sure I talk to them about. Thank you.
Thank you, Shelby. Okay, wow. Now we're going to excuse the judges so they can make this difficult decision. And while they're doing that, we will now have our current New York State Dairy Princess announce some of our recognition awards. So, Natalie Vernon, New York State Dairy Princess. Let me see if I can get my stuff out of the way.
All right, thank you, Dale, and good evening, everyone. While we are waiting for the judges to make their difficult decision, we have a few awards to give out this evening. Before I start with the awards, I want to congratulate all of the county princesses up here tonight. Every single one of these girls should be considered a winner. As the pandemic took hold this year, our county princesses showed how resilient they could be. We knew that the farmers were not going to be able to quarantine and not work, so each county worked hard to figure out ways to keep promoting the industry while staying safe and following all the guidelines at the same time. The teamwork and dedication of these young ladies always surpasses what I could ever imagine. Now that their reign as county princesses is coming to an end, I am pretty sure you will still see most of these girls out there promoting the industry for years to come. With passion and dedication like these girls have, the dairy industry is going to have some very qualified and enthusiastic spokespersons, veterinarians, nutritionists, herdsmen, and so many other careers in the industry. This is a time that we would normally ask all of the supporting county and state princesses to stand up that would be in the audience. Even though you are not here in person, I'm sure there are many out there watching live and still supporting the Dairy Princess program. We know you are out there with support and advice, and as they say, once a princess, always a princess. Thank you to everyone who has taken the time to watch us live tonight. The support means so much to each one of these girls. Now the fun part. We have a few awards to present. The first award is the Robert S. Turner Promoter of the Year Award. Promoter of the Year recognizes a county that has done an outstanding job promoting milk and dairy products. The Promoter of the Year Award is presented in memory of Robert S. Turner, a former ADADC Chief Executive Officer and dairy farmer, who was a strong supporter of the Dairy Princess program. The $500 award is provided by the Turner family along with American Dairy Association Northeast and is presented to the County Promotion Committee. Gabriella Miyoshi, the 2019-2020 Orange County Dairy Princess, has been named the Promoter of the Year. Gabriella set her goal to be Promoter of the Year and worked very hard throughout her reign, with school programs being one of her biggest achievements. Gabriella would leave school and take a bus to the elementary school and do school programs almost daily. And after her mom finished work, she would pick her up. Now that is dedication and strong support from families also. Throughout the year, Gabriella and her court presented programs to 489 schools, attended 7 farm meetings, and 40 public relation articles. Congratulations, Gabriella, and to the entire Orange County Dairy Princess Court for reaching this impressive goal. Each year at the New York State Dairy Princess Pageant, American Dairy Association Northeast, along with the Leo Briggs family, awards a $500 scholarship to a deserving college student within the district area. The scholarship is offered to any college student who has exhibited leadership in dairy promotion. This year, the scholarship goes to Lynn Thomas, who is a past Maryland State Dairy Princess. Lynn is currently a sophomore at West Virginia University, where her major is agricultural and extension education, with a minor in horticulture and agribusiness. Lynn is a member of Dairy Science Club, Agricultural Professional Society, Collegiate Farm Bureau, Sigma Alpha, and several other agricultural organizations. Lynn's lifelong love for teaching others about agriculture made her decide to pursue a career in agricultural education. Lynn says, this year's pandemic has highlighted the importance of having a safe, abundant food supply, and I look forward to teaching future agriculturalists who will keep our world fed. She knows that not everyone she teaches will choose a career in agriculture, but everyone needs to know the importance of agriculture in their daily lives. This is why she is so proud to represent the agriculture community. With that kind of passion and determination, we all know you will be a great educator for the industry. Congratulations. Now I'd like to ask Rachel and Erin to join me on stage for one last special recognition.
There is a very special woman that we wanted to recognize tonight. Dawn Hooper has been a staple to the American Dairy Association. She has been the heart and soul to the New York State Dairy Princess program for several years. Today will be the last night of many New York State Dairy Princess pageants for her.
Dawn has always been known for her sparkly personality and her ability to put a smile on anyone's face. She's always open to new ideas, even if they seem a little crazy. Dawn has made a tremendous impact on so many young women throughout the years.
Dawn will truly be missed by many as she ventures off to retirement in Florida. If you are a Dawn fan, be sure to keep an eye out for her pictures of her hot pink golf cart at her new Florida home. Thank you for all you have done. With much love, the 2020-2021 New York State Dairy Princess Court. All right, and before we get to the main event of this evening, we are going to share with you a video that is narrated by Cindy Weimer from American Dairy Association Northeast, Industry Relations Senior Vice President. Please watch as you will see many examples of how the Dairy Princesses are integrated into American Dairy Association's goals and initiatives.
Good evening, and welcome to the 2021 New York State Dairy Princess Pageant. My name is Cindy Weimer, and I'm happy to represent American Dairy Association Northeast, who sponsors and manages the New York State Dairy Princess program and has for 58 years. American Dairy Association Northeast showcases dairy farmers and the natural, wholesome milk and dairy products they produce while caring for their animals, the environment, and their communities. American Dairy Association Northeast represents nearly 10,000 dairy farm families in New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Maryland, Delaware, and Northern Virginia to bring the dairy story to 50 million consumers in this region. We work with schools, with retailers, and food service partners, and through our Dairy Princesses to help consumers learn more about modern dairy farming and nutritious dairy foods. Our local retail programs highlight real cow's milk dairy in the dairy case and ensure supermarket dairy cases are clean, cold, and well stocked. Did you know that 94% of U.S. households buy real dairy milk, with whole milk accounting for 40% of all fluid milk sales? When the pandemic began in early 2020, those shoppers were scrambling to purchase their favorite dairy products, and our team was there to help by going on site to physically help stock more than 235,000 units of milk, cheese, and yogurt in more than 1,200 supermarkets. We also helped address milk limits in grocery stores so that shoppers had access to the milk they wanted and needed. With more families than ever in need of food assistance, we teamed up with local organizations across the state to distribute milk and other dairy foods provided by vendors through the Coronavirus Food Assistance Program and other donors. In total, we helped distribute 842,000 gallons of milk and 438 pounds of other dairy foods. Our school programs help keep kids fed with healthy meals even when school was not in session. American Dairy Association Northeast provided many schools with coolers and other equipment to help get nutritious meals, including milk and dairy, to students who depend on school meal programs. Our Dairy Farmers Fuel Up to Play 60 program, a partnership with the National Football League, used virtual assemblies with schools to remind kids to eat a healthy diet and include 60 minutes of exercise every day. Several dairy farmers helped to share that story. With more students learning from home, we've ramped up our online dairy education efforts. Hundreds of thousands of families were able to visit dairy farms this year through our virtual farm tours. And our Fun on the Farm Facebook series launched at the beginning of the pandemic and featured many New York farm families who opened up their barn doors and welcomed more than 3.5 million viewers for a glimpse of daily life on the farm. Hannah Warden of Willowcrest Farms in Clifton Springs, New York, hosted one of 3 virtual farm tours last fall that racked up more than 40,000 views in the first 24 hours. Although the Great New York State Fair was canceled in 2020, American Dairy Association stepped in to recreate New Yorkers' favorite fair activities virtually, including the annual butter sculpture, the undeniably dairy shake-off milkshake contest, our Dairy Princess Parade, and we also arranged for many media interviews featuring our Dairy Princesses and Dairy Youth exhibitors. And speaking of our talented young dairy advocates, last fall, our Dairy Princesses helped promote 2 holiday campaigns in retail stores. Chocolate milk is the official beverage of Halloween, and Make Milk Moments during the holidays. They placed point-of-sale materials on dairy case doors and reminded shoppers to purchase real milk in 139 stores across New York State. American Dairy Association Northeast supported our network of grassroots dairy princesses throughout the year, investing in the future and training this next generation of dairy advocates. While yes, it was an unpredictable year, American Dairy Association is proud of the dairy princesses and the dairy farmers throughout the region who continue to provide safe and healthy dairy foods every day.
Well, is it me again, Natalie? I want to ask Natalie Vernon one more time to come and speak to us and congratulate you on a great year. Natalie?
Striving for success without hard work is like trying to harvest where you haven't planted. This statement from David Bly is one that we can all relate to as members of the agricultural community, especially during this past year. 1 year ago, I stepped into this role with the hopes of having a successful year promoting the dairy industry of New York State. Within just 1 month of my reign, things came to what we thought was a screeching halt. Events were canceled before we could even get them on our schedules. Life was turned upside down for everyone. I quickly realized, much like that quote stated, that if I wanted to still be successful in my role, that I was going to have to put in even more work. I know that this was probably true in a variety of ways for everyone who was watching tonight. We had to learn to step out of our comfort zones, get creative, and adjust to this new normal if we wanted to continue to succeed. For Rachel, Erin, and I, this meant expanding our knowledge on social media and sourcing most of our work and promotions through social media platforms. We quickly created a New York State Dairy Princess Facebook and Instagram page with the intent to reach as many consumers and farmers as possible in this new virtual aspect of life. The three of us girls resorted to Zoom for our main communication method as we planned and started a YouTube channel with videos from 3 different parts of the state. Over time, we gained more followers and were able to reach an even larger audience. Consumers and farmers were able to take part in contests and giveaways throughout the year. We were also able to volunteer at a multitude of milk drives across the state as we progressed farther into our reign. Many of our county princesses and their programs were able to attend these events as well, giving back to the community 1 gallon at a time. American Dairy Association Northeast helped to facilitate over 200 of these events in which over 800,000 gallons were distributed to community members across the state. While these events were our in-person highlights, our year was packed with virtual events. From county pageants to farmers' meetings, television interviews, and even a virtual New York State Fair, the unfortunate events of this past year never stopped our promotional efforts or the hardworking dairy farmers of our state. Growth was one of my biggest successes of this past year. Growth not only in my role as a dairy princess, but also in myself as a person. I also recognized growth in the industry as a whole. It is not unknown that the job of dairy farming is challenging, but our farmers came together even closer than ever before this year. This year was a true testament to farmers and their community always being there to help one another no matter what. As we proceed with tonight's events, there are a few last things I would like to say. To begin, thank you to everyone who joined us tonight for the first ever virtual New York State Dairy Princess pageant. As we planned this event, we knew that we would need to provide a virtual option for all of those who support this program and attend the event every year. Next, thank you to all of our county dairy princesses and their courts and program coordinators. Tonight, each and every one of you will be walking out of here as a winner. Even our county girls who are joining us virtually tonight. You are all winners, winners of an incredible year promoting the dairy industry with full hearts despite times of uncertainty. To Dawn, thank you for all you have done for every single young woman who has been a part of this program through the years. You have a heart of gold, and our job as dairy princesses, whether it is at the county or state level, would have never been possible without you. Erin and Rachel, when we were crowned as a team a year ago, I never realized that I was also gaining 2 of the best friends a girl could ask for. Thank you for the endless laughs and memories. Thank you for always having my back and being open to ideas I might have had that were pretty out there. While we may be parting as a state team, I am sure we will continue to cross paths as our roles in the dairy industry will not end tonight. Thank you to my parents, sister, and the rest of my family and friends, whether it was letting me travel hours away to a dairy show in Ohio on my own, dealing with my recording hundreds of video clips, or listening to endless stories from my most recent events. Your love and support played a huge role in this past year and in the years it took me to get here. And finally, to the New York State dairy farmers, thank you. Thank you for your work 365 days a year to care for your animals and land to produce such a wholesome and nutritious product. Thank you for supporting myself and all of these other young women here tonight in our work as promoters. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for allowing me to serve and represent you over the past year. It has truly been an honor and a privilege to represent you all and share your stories. And for one last time, I am Natalie Vernon, the 2020-2021 New York State Dairy Princess.
Thank you, Natalie. And guess what? You will always be the 2020-2021 New York State Dairy Princess. So that concludes the evening. Thank you very much for, oh, there's something else to do? One more thing? Oh, Well, what a year it's been. And to those of you who have joined us virtually, and I only learned how to say that word during the last year, it's been quite a year. It's amazing how resilient these young ladies and all county dairy princesses come from the world of agriculture. And the world of agriculture is resilient. The world of agriculture is always optimistic. And you have just gotten a little taste of the talent and experience of these young ladies. And there are lots more young ladies around New York State. To all the supporters of American Dairy Association and the Dairy Princess program, if I could be so presumptuous as a recovering dairy farmer, and my therapist tells me to say that 5 times a day, I want to thank you on their behalf, and thank you everyone involved in the program. Now, the moment we've all been waiting for. Each of the winners will receive a scholarship provided by American Dairy Association Northeast for their future efforts. The winners will spend the next year promoting dairy throughout the state of New York through meetings, special events, and appearances. They will also be a principal part in the training of the 2020-2021 County Dairy Princesses. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2021-22 second alternate dairy princess who will be receiving a $500 scholarship is Elizabeth Hyman, Jefferson County. Elizabeth Hyman, Jefferson County. Congratulations, Elizabeth. The first alternate dairy princess receiving a $700 scholarship is Holly Nefergold, Erie County. Holly Nefergold, Erie County. Congratulations, Holly. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2021-2022 New York State Dairy Princess, who is receiving a $1,200 scholarship, is Shelby Benjamin, Shenango County. 2021-2022 New York State Dairy Princess, Shelby Benjamin. Congratulations, Shelby. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our evening. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for joining us virtually. We'll see you next year, and hopefully we'll all be together in the same room. In the meantime, travel safe and be healthy. Thank you.